do it,
Okay.
Sean.
So, if I tell you there's only 3 females in a room, what does that usually make you think of? There's
Strip club.
no, not usually. Don't do that.
You're actually on the train that I was.
So you might say that there's not very many females in the room, right? If there's only 3 females, like in this room.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said it was like a single room with
And-
only females in it.
No. Okay, it's still a single room. So if I have 3 females in a room, that's not very many females. When I say, however, the room is 75% female, that makes you think, oh yeah, that's more females than males. So that's how we're going to think of proportions, is that proportions are going to tell us more than 3 whatevers. Or if 75% is equal to 3, then there's only 25% of whatever else. So that's kind of how we're going to think of proportions if I can find my mouse.
Don't find that now.
I love proportion.
Nice proportions.
Huh?
Hourglass proportions. Oh, good. Oh, okay, good. So the main equations we need are these guys. So P is the population proportion. P is like if I had a proportion of, now I can't even think of any good examples. The, yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Hang on, I gotta look it up.
Then you did not learn the new word.
Like tentination or something.
Titillation?
No. It's
P hat?
Yeah, we really do say p hat. Because, yeah, it's kind of like, you know how we say X bar? We say X bar. Fat. We can call it. Kind of sounds like trials and tribulations all shoved into one. Okay, all right, is it appropriate? What does this word mean? A reading sound?
Tribulation? Wait, what's
Ringing sound.
Intibulation.
I imagine. Tendinitis is ringing in your ears, so that it's
Tibulation.
Tentibulation.
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 Okay, Sean.
Tentibulation.
Tentibulation.
See, Sean, turn it off now.
Turn it off. Just turn it off. Okay.
He's gonna
Okay.
be like, all right, well, accepted, so I am.
And we're done. So, p hat is a sample proportion. So just, it's kind of like, okay, if I was doing my standard deviation, sigma is my population, S is my sample. So it's just kind of that difference between sample and it's probably because the Greek one was already used for pi, and we think of pi in math as something else. Whereas nobody had ever used sigma. I do, except for Jake ate a whole one.
What? What?
And you threw away my thing that I was going to use as a little tiny greenhouse.
What?
So bring me back another pie with a plastic covering.
Just eat the pie, don't give her the pie. Who told?
Doesn't matter who told.
Who told?
I
That's
hate
some
you.
Who
bullcrap.
told? That's so
Doesn't matter.
horseshit.
That's some
Doesn't
bullcrap.
matter.
What? Who told you?
It doesn't
Karen
matter.
did. She's grinning like she did.
I didn't know.
Maybe Taryn didn't.
That's some
'Kay.
BS.
For,
I am done.
for sample proportion. Maddie's not. No. Okay, so p hat is going to equal x over n. Yeah. Bet you wish Paul liked you more, huh?
It was not Paul.
It was no Paul.
Paul didn't even know about it.
Q hat. So think of Q. Remember P and Q are opposites?
Ariel, wasn't it?
Q is the opposite of that, maybe. Okay. This is the Grosser formula for Q. I like actually finding P hat first and then subtracting that from 1. So remember, P and Q will add to 1. Okay? X is the number of sample units that possesses the characteristics of interest, and N is our sample size. Okay, so we'll have to go through and find all these guys. I'm going to write them down so that I don't have to go back. So P hat is X over N, and then I like Q hat is equal to 1 minus P hat. So, confidence intervals and sample sizes. I don't know what this is supposed to be in here.
I don't know.
What does it look like on that one? It looks the same gross way. Okay.
What's the parallel of P's and Q's?
I don't know. That's what I don't know. Because there's a lot of them. Okay. In a recent survey of 150 households, that's our in, 54 had central air,
So that's our X.
and
I didn't know that.
find, probably P hat and Q hat, where P hat,
So what's Q hat?
Q hat is the opposite of P hat.
Oh,
So
I wrote it down.
you
We're
did,
fine.
yeah. I'm like, really, is the proportion of households that have central air conditioning. P hat. There's really a lot of them. There's like,
We really have to do this. P hat.
yes, yes you do. Okay, so P hat is equal to 54 over 150. So that, we don't want fractions at all. We want the actual decimal value.
Like, who came up with P hat? Could we have
No
not
idea.
come up with something classier?
The only thing I like about stats is all the
Random.
little names.
Yeah. I hate
'Kay.
doing what
Q
we're
hat.
doing, little names.
Q hat, so I'll make sure we think about it in a couple different ways. We could have just done 1 minus 0.36 to get 0.64. Or we could have done 150 minus 54 all back over 150. We still get 0.64. So 150 minus 54. Oh, hey, look, that would have been 96 over
So P and Q are
150.
the same still. They're just always the opposite of each other.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Glad we're not throwing
No.
anything new into it.
No, it's just hat tells us that it's the sample, whereas with no hats, it's just the population. So yeah, really, I mean, okay, do they tell us all that stuff? Hey, look at that, yay, we got it all right. Gross, we have another formula. Write it down. Really, really, really close to the other formula that we had as well. So,
Even ask her, was she just like, hey, Jake took your pie?
No, she doesn't.
no,
have pie.
I went in there and I'm like, who took my pie? And that's how it started, and I was mad. And now I locked it. You can't eat my food
So
anymore.
now I can't get lotion out of there.
No lotion for cat because you ate my pie.
My Venus is gonna dry
Not
up.
eat your pie.
You did not say weenus.
I did too. I said Venus.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I laughed and said Venus. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I laughed with a
Did
P at
not
the
eat
end.
your pie.
You might have stolen it though. I don't care if you ate it.
Yeah, she helped me do it.
I took a bite.
How about you guys
I would
both
like-
buy me a new pie at
No,
Walmart
Jake can do it
that
because
has
he's
my
Jake
little
to begin with.
that has the little thingy on the top so that I can make a
I
little
can
cute
just
greenhouse.
Give you one. Want to give you one?
A pie?
No,
Or-
10.
No, I don't want a pie tin. I want the plastic black container that a pie tin can sit in, and then the little glass top or the little clear plastic top that will allow sunlight in. Pew, 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 pew. This is the sunshine.
This is the sun.
I'm gonna watch this and be like, oh my god, this is the point already.
You're writing down the formula is what you're
I
doing.
wonder why.
Okay, formula, this guy. So then my little plants can go like, "Meow," and then I can plant them, and they wouldn't have died in the snow if I had had my little greenhouse. Okay, so we have this formula. So the main condition is that NP has to be greater than 5 and NQ has to be greater than 5. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find your sample. So we're going to do this in a couple seconds. Find your sample size, find your P, find your Q, multiply them, just check real fast. Are they greater than 5?
So what we just did, how we found our P and
Mhm.
Q, which was like
Yep. So if we go back to that.
0.36 and 0.64, now we have to like put that all in there.
Yep. In a way.
So wait, why do you have
Whoop.
that P on the side written in?
P on the side.
P on the
What
side.
side? This
Up
side?
on the top, up on the side. Nope, up on the side. On your left side, in blue marker, on your left side.
That one?
There you go.
So that I don't forget what P hat and Q hat is.
Okay, then I'm gonna write that down.
Okay, you should have already had it written down.
Well, I'm gonna write it down again.
Okay then.
Do that.
Round and roll round to 3 decimal places. Okay. Next section, do you guys have that formula written down? Or a picture or something?
I got it. That's it?
No. This is gross. This is tiny. A survey conducted by Sally Mae and Gallup of 1,404 people found that 323 paid for their education by student loans. Find the 90% confidence interval
So would
of
90
the
be P?
true proportion. No,
90 be P hat.
no.
90 not be anything.
90 is what we're going to use for our T-score distribution in the back. And we're going to use that 90% to figure out what our P-score is. So if we look back,
So P is not.
I need to write that down too. So let me, so I'm going to write P hat plus minus Z alpha over 2 square root
I thought
P hat Q hat over N. Okay, so I just wrote a plus minus so that I don't have to write it 100.
If you think about
It's alpha over 2.
Oh, would you look at that? You're so deep.
Okay, so what we have to do, remember, the first thing we have to do is find our P, or our P hat. So our P hat is going to look like X over N, so that's 323 over 1404. I think this is way small number. Maybe this is just really old. So 323 over 1404 is equal to 0.23005. I'm just going to say 0.23.
Hey, what's for one?
No idea. 1 minus 0.23 is 0.77 for my Q hat. Okay.
Not your girlfriend.
Okay, so I have my P hat and my Q hat. Oh my God.
I am. I am
Okay.
somebody's girlfriend. Go away.
So my P hat. So, oh my God.
Okay, I found the binomial distribution. All it has is the two things I did.
Wow.
Good, then you need to keep going.
What?
Okay, anyway, we're talking about this now because you wanted to check your Facebook or Instagram or whatever.
Actually, I didn't. I checked my grades that you entered.
And then you were telling me about somebody sitting in the hospital, so we started this.
Yes, because I got a text.
I don't care. So I need to check, is my P hat times my N greater than 5? So is 0.23 times 1404, is that greater than or equal to 5? So
What the hell?
0.23
School
times,
newspaper?
yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
that's a times. I was like, wait a minute.
And-
Oh, in high school.
3.1.
No, that's because none of the high school students will do it because you guys are all whiny and crappy.
I would do it.
Okay, so is that greater than 5 as well? Yes, yes. So that both checks. So as soon as they're greater than 5, you don't have to write that out. But if you're coming up with something that could have easily, you could have been like, oh, sorry, a normal distribution doesn't fit, so I can't do this, then that sucks that you did that much work. And you could, if this is under 5, you're going to be like, oh, this does not fit the criteria for a proportion confidence interval, and you can use lots of big words like that. Okay? So they are greater than 5, so now I'm going to write it into my formula. My P hat was 0.23. This is the sample size or the sample proportion that I found.
Mr. Mallory.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay?
Hey, do you want my test
There's a pile right there. Okay? So my P hat is 0.23. I need to find my Z-score for alpha over 2. That was that piece of information that we kind of went over 2 days ago now. That is...
What do you think of the girls' season so far? It's peachy.
It's
So is
peachy?
this
Yeah, what?
7-2?
That was you.
This is 7.3.
You said it's peachy.
On what?
So, do you guys have that list of things that I gave you 2 days ago?
See, what do you think of the real season so far? You said it's peachy.
I did.
Where is, do you guys have your notes for the Z scores?
You said, what do you think the team needs to work on? And you said getting along.
Yeah, I did say that, but I never
Where
said
does it
the
say for
education part.
90%? 90%. 90% is 1.65. Okay? So 90% means our
And Tessa and Dixie, so I'm guessing Tessa.
is equal to 1 point, what did I say, 6.5?
Yeah.
6.5, okay.
I didn't think you were.
I don't know on your phone. Okay, So I'm plugging in that 165 right here. So I have 165 square root, p hat was 0.23, so I have 0.23 times 0.77 all over n. N is 1404. Okay, now you're taking your calculator.
Version.
0.23, 0.77 divided by 1404. The square root of that number. So go up and press that. And then times 1.65 is where'd my marker go? There it is. So this thingy right here, these are going to be very tiny numbers because remember proportions are going to be between 0 and 1, so they need to be small decimals. So this whole piece right here was 0.019. Okay, it says to round out to 3 decimal places, so that works good. So my thing will look like 0.23 minus 0.019.
Wait, why?
Popcorn chicken.
Why what?
Why is
Don't
it?
laugh at me, that's why I
Why
asked
is it
you.
23 minus?
Minus,
Popcorn chicken.
because we have to subtract it and then we'll also have to add it. So it's less than p, which is less than, remember p is the true proportion. I don't know, I don't eat school lunch anymore.
Have you looked at that one?
Oh my god, I'm ready to kill you guys.
I'm listening.
Just stop.
Okay.
leaving the seat up. This little kid, the thing on the toilet seat that says stop leaving the seat up. I've fallen in my own poop.
That's cute. Okay, so now I need to do 0.23 plus 0.019. So my thingy needs to be 249. So what this means is based on this information that we can be 90% confident, 90% coming from the confidence interval they asked us for, 90% confidence that the true proportion of students is actually between 0.211 and 0.249. So again, that's kind of like, I don't know, we like percentages, I think, more in our head, so we could change it to 21.1% is less than the actual population proportion is less than, or is, yeah, 24.9%, so we can just change them to percents. So this group of people had 23% that paid for college with student loans. From their information, we can be pretty confident, we can be 90% confident that 21 to 24% of all people pay for college with student loans. Okay, this is again probably pretty old, is what I think, because I think that's way off. Okay, so that's what that guy is going to look like. Where'd my mousey go? There it is. Okay, so they just went through all the same stuff. Okay, so let's do another one that'll be pretty similar. Okay, so I still have my thingy written down. Okay, so 90% confident, that means my z-score is 1.65. So just kind of look back at 7-1 to find all those z-scores. Alpha over 2 is equal to 1.65. That a percentage of students who pay for their college education by student loans is, oh, this is just an answer. I thought it was another problem. Okay. Okay, another problem. Let me get there. For a survey of 1,721 students or people found that 15.9% of individuals purchase religious books at a Christian bookstore. Find the 95% confidence interval of the true proportion of people who purchase their religious books at a Christian bookstore. So you guys just want homework or test? Okay, all of you guys. Okay. Survey of this many people, so our N is 1721. What is the Z-score for a 95% confidence interval? So find that for me. probably in your 7-1 notes or in your book. So the z-score for,
Oh, that thing.
yep,
The Z-score for what?
95% confidence.
1.96.
1.96. Okay, so that means my z alpha over 2 is 1.96. And I think these are mostly rounded from the actual values. The actual values are a couple decimal places out further, but most people just round. Okay, my p hat is not 15.9, but my p hat is 0.159. So my q hat, subtract that guy from 1 to get 84.1. Am I right? 84.1, yay, subtraction. Okay. My p hat is the 0.159, I already did that. Everything else you should be able to have now. Okay, so my p hat is 0.159. That was just this group of people, plus or minus 1.96 times square root of 0.159 times 0.841 all over 1721. Do that piece in your calculator, multiply it by 1.6. So I have 0.159 times 0.841 divided by 1721. Square root of that thingy times 1.96. Tiny numbers again, tiny numbers. Okay, so this whole piece, this is my standard error basically. So my error is 0.01727. And then I'm going to have 159 minus that on the left. 0.159 minus that thingy equals 0.142 is less than my actual population proportion. And then the same thing with the plus sign is 0.176. Change everything to percentages. 14.2% is less than P is less than 17.6%. Okay, so this is a larger gap than the last one. The last one was like 21 to 24. This one, I guess it's not much larger. Yeah, so 3 percentage points is a large gap if you think about it.
If that's a large gap, will we get anything like huge then, like 14 to like 50 something?
Probably not, no.
Okay.
Probably not. If your number of people is very small, you sometimes end up with that. But the more people you survey, the closer you're probably going to have. Survey says, yep. So then you'd put it back into words. We can be 95% confidence that the true proportion of people that purchase religious books at a Christian bookstore is between 14.2% up to 17.6%. So then write that sentence out too. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I know that we've gone over this, but I'm still kind of confused on like why we need the 95% confidence interval.
The 95, that only tells us what our Z alpha over 2.
So we only need it for like that part right there.
This, right there.
Okay.
Okay? Remember that this is an interval estimate. What is the best point estimate again? The best point estimate we have is just this 159. So everything, so this 95% confidence is giving us, it could be between here and here. If we just asked you, okay, what's the single point that you would say it probably is, you would say, I think it's probably 15.9. So that's kind of,
A question like that on the test to throw us off, but really just
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
Pretty
done
much.
about that.
I hope so. That was my goal. So blah, 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 blah. Okay? So yeah, they say the same thing. Okay? Minimum sample size needed. So sometimes you're going to give, you will be given different pieces of information, or just if you wanted to be 99% sure of something, how many people do I actually need to survey? So that's what this formula is going to look like. So write that formula down, people. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like talking to a bunch of trees, or the trees might like rustle more. And
I'd love to be the tree.
do you guys ever do Game of Thrones? Watch Game of Thrones? Anything?
No.
Whatever. I hate you
My
guys.
mom does.
Love it. I know, she steals my HBO stuff to do it.
Gotcha.
I would
So-
still watch it, but yeah.
No, I would not.
It's the
You
best
can get, like,
thing
a bunch
in the
of
world.
seasons now at, like Walmart and Target.
It's amazing. You should just read the books.
Like, you?
Yeah.
The show is really good, you wouldn't have to pay to see it.
Yeah, if you buy them, you still have to pay for them.
No, I'm saying if it was just
Oops.
widely distributed for everybody on television, it would be a lot.
It is widely distributed for everybody that has HBO.
Exactly. Everybody
Well-
has cable or some sort of.
We have the internet TV now.
Yes. If we did that, then you couldn't have all of the sex scenes on there. And so we have too many sex scenes on that show. And so it can't just be on cable. Nah, we know I watch it.
Mom, sit them out, do nothing,
Like,
and
Mom.
9-year-old is like moaning, and like,
Please
bam.
stop. Please stop.
Right there on the screen. I'm like, Mom, why do you watch that?
You should watch it or something.
That is disturbing.
Okay. No, stop. We'll talk about it in a second. Oh my God, Sean, I'm so sorry.
When is it season?
What?
It doesn't run through like the spring and stuff?
It starts on April 24th again.
Oh God, that means she'll be like watching it on senior sneak. And there you go, we can just be like, Charlotte, look what we bought you. And then we can just go do whatever we want. Because she'll be ogling over.
But she's
Game
watched
of
them all. She's watched them all, though.
Well, what if we get her like, I don't know. What if we're just like, Charlotte, your show's coming on. And she knows, and she has to sit there and watch it.
It'll come on Sunday night. So, are you going to be on Sunday night?
I think we should leave Sunday night.
Okay. And wherever you're at probably isn't going to have HBO, so.
Yeah, damn right it will.
Okay. So, anyway, we have this.
We're gonna have like a special order.
Oh my
like,
God.
Oh no, you guys ordered HBO.
Oh my God. So, a researcher wishes to estimate with 95% confidence the proportion of people who own a home computer. A previous study showed that 40% of those that had a computer at home, the researcher wishes to be accurate within 2% of the true proportion and find the minimum sample size needed. So, let me get there. Yeah, we're pretty close. Okay?
That means
So, pretty much. My P hat is 0.4. My Q hat, opposite of that. My error, the error that I wish for is that 2%. Okay, so that goes on the bottom. So how far do you want to be off? I only want to be off by 2%, so that goes on the bottom.
I would be really
My Z-score comes from the 95, gave me the 196. It's great, so that's what that guy will look like.
I'll laugh. Nobody else did. Hey, leave that there.
I'm going to get one more line on it, maybe. Okay. So always round up. So if it came out to like point anything, if it came out to 0.1, oh my God. You're going to always round up to the next person. So in order to be 95% confidence for a 2% error, you need to survey at least 2,300 people.
I love having class with you sometimes.
Okay. Okay. A researcher wishes to estimate the percentage of M&Ms that are brown. He wants to be 95% confident. 95 tells us we're going to use 1.96. And to be accurate within 3% of the true proportion, how large would the sample size need to be? No prior knowledge of p hat is known. Assign a value of blah, blah, blah. That's weird. Don't give it a half a value. are not half of the M&Ms that are
Okay, can
brown.
you just go?
Yeah. They use half, which is stupid. Don't use half.
Wait, what were the numbers?
I haven't given